Hello everyone and welcome to another Once Only studio recording. The Once Only technical system is a technical system for the automated exchange of documents and data to help us automate cross-border procedures. For example, especially when someone is moving to another EU country or expanding their business to another EU country. I'm delighted today to be joined by the OOTS implementation team from Spain. So we have Carlos here in the studio and we have Jose joining us remotely from Spain. Now, normally I'd have a quick icebreaker question to sort of open things up, but I understand, Carlos, we're going to do things a bit differently.
Yes, you see, OOTS is all about connections, so I want to represent a link, a connection between the first Once Only studio interview you did with Finland, this studio interview as well, and the Eureka program that we participated in. So in a way, this is a little symbol of that connection. Do you remember when Niels asked Kirsi, one of the Finnish team members, that how would she explain OOTS to a kid? And she did that wonderful explanation about the box with toys. And that made me think about a box of toys. And when I was at the Eureka program with the storytelling, I thought about a story that involved those toy boxes that have, the shapes, and you have to put the blocks through the correct shape. And in a way that remind me of the OOTS. So I made this.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
For all the team.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. I recognize it as a metaphor, certainly, for the work that we're doing, and it speaks to the importance of creativity and communication as well.
The designer, the draws are from Kiko Perez, which is a professional comic drawer and painter, a quite famous one. And I did the script, and we collaborated together to do this. So I hope you like it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I will share that, of course, with the team. So thank you very much, Carlos. In which case, I think we can dive straight into the content of our discussion today. Obviously, we have 27 EU member states with differing constitutional models and levels of centralization. Jose, could you tell us a little bit about how you've approached onboarding competent authorities given Spain's decentralized governance model?
Hi, good morning. I'm Jose. I'm working on the single digital gateway system in the Spanish approach for the last 15 years. Although we are a very decentralized country, our approach was mainly just to address these big problems from our governance model. At the very beginning, our first approach was a peer-to-peer solution approach from a technical point of view, from a technical perspective. But once we realized that technically it could work, but from an operational point of view, it could not scale. So we moved into to define a strong governance model for all the data interchange. So in reality, we have a centralized approach in which we have a central node, central gateway, in which we offer all the services that beforehand we have get in contact with the data providers, with the competent authorities to provide that information. We have, in this governance model, we have complete holistic approach for interoperability from a syntactic point of view. So the syntax is the same for all the services. From semantic point of view, we have agreed all the meaning or just having in mind that we have to perform at the scale, but also we have a balance, or we have to keep a slightly balance between service and security. So the organizational interoperability is a key part of the model. So we have established the responsibilities of all the public bodies involved in data interchange. So we centralize the services from a Spanish point of view to all the public administrations. So we are a single point of contact for all public bodies to consume those services. And we also have the responsibility to coordinate with the public authorities. For instance, when we have data which is in which we have several competent authorities involved, we coordinate them in order to provide the same information in a canonical way. So all the data that we have are structured data. We have an XML format for the data. We have agreed with all the public bodies this envelope, from an organizational point of view, in order to assure the traceability, the security, the approval process, accountability. So this is the key point of that. And we have the flexibility for the specific data, which is the business data for each certificate, for handicap, for rich families, whatever. And when we have a more complex situations, for instance, with universities, we also apply the same strategy. So we have another single point of contact at the university level. So they manage the relationship between the same type of institutions. So we have a single point of contact to consume the services provided for universities or sometimes for local entities. Local entities, I must say, is the next border, the next frontier we have to approach as data providers. That we have started in the role for municipalities to consume data. We have over 2,000 right now consuming more than 220 services that we have already in the platform, in our platform. And the key point is to move forward in order them to be able to provide the data that they are responsible for. So this is the key point. So although we are a very decentralized country, the strategy in order to scale has been a centralized, strong, modernized government that we have agreed with all the main players, the key players of the interoperability in Spain. So from a national point of view, from a regional point of view, in order everyone to agree that the model is the one that we have to follow.
Thank you very much, Jose. I know this will be, of course, interesting to other member states with decentralized constitutional structures. So it's always great to hear these kind of best practices. Something as well you mentioned was the comprehensive holistic approach, and you mentioned that technically. But I think one of the interesting things in terms of how we've approached the rollout of the Once Only technical system, especially to competent authorities, so those business registers and population registers that need to exchange and request the data, is how do we go about onboarding these competent authorities, right? And part of this comprehensive holistic approach is to help the teams implementing the Once Only technical system become storytellers, to become brand ambassadors, and basically have it as second nature for them to be able to explain the virtues and the benefits of Once Only. For example, if a piece of data is being exchanged automatically between an issuing and a requesting authority, the authority receiving the data can hopefully have more faith in the data because it's coming directly from the issuing authority. So there are benefits, but there are also costs. As we've seen from the very kind gift Carlos you gave us, it's important to be able to express what can be complex very well. So in this spirit, the Commission and a group of member states have been conducting the Eureka initiative. So basically a competition with the benefits of coaches and trainings in mastering the art of storytelling. I know Spain was a very enthusiastic participant in this initiative. So Carlos, would you tell us a little bit about the Eureka initiative, how it went, and what you thought of it?
Well, even though it is a little bit too soon to say We already can see all the effects of the program. We can already say it's been a real game changer. It's been a real game changer because first it gave us a different way of thinking. I don't think the same way I used to do when I'm going to elaborate a communication. It has changed the structure in a way. So when I'm going to say something, I first think within the parameters established by the coaches, the wonderful coaches. Then we have an arsenal of resources, both visual and narrative. We have here Wendy, who has been an angel and so patient with me because I arrived with my slides, like thinking these are the best slides in the world. And Wendy would go like, okay, yeah, but maybe we can do something a little bit different. And we're like, what? And then she made a slight change, and oh my God, this works so much better. And you can see it, but only after they have the patience to explain you how this works. And we have had so many different coaches in so many different areas of speciality: visual, voice coaches, improvisation coaches, and especially the leaders of the program, Saki and Max, who were absolutely lovely, and they really know how to communicate. But above all that, if I have to get one thing from all that we have learned, is how to listen, how to analyze information. And this is extremely important when you are going to talk to competent authorities, because in a way, it's easy to say, I'm going to tell you about the benefits of the OTS, I'm going to tell you about what this means, how that we can help the citizen, and how can we help businesses, SMEs, or whatever, or other administrations. But you need to listen to them and to make them see what's in it for them. And you can do that without listening to them, really. So now we have the tools to do exactly that. First, get something that can catch their attention easily. And we have already been testing a little bit that with some competent authorities. When in the past we used to get some, yeah, okay, we'll talk later about that. Yeah, it seems nice. Now we get some, wow, this is so interesting. Please tell us more. Let me talk to my boss and show this to him. But it's not enough. Now, the next step is, okay, now you tell me, how can I help you? What do you really need? What's in it for you, and how can we go together? We need to make them own the OTS. Otherwise, if we believe we own it and they just have to help or get involved, they won't do that. They will fail. But now we have the tools to achieve that, I think, much better. And it's thanks to the Eureka program. And above all that, Eureka has meant something even more special, talking about symbols, talking about connection. What happened during the 3 months project, which was intense and wonderful, we created a sense of community. You said it was a competition, but in fact, we didn't feel as a competition. We were at the clinic, the special event we did a couple of weeks ago here in Brussels. We didn't want to win. We want all the teams to perform so much better that we were doing to grow together, and we were hoping for the best for all the others. So in a sense, we symbolize the connection that is needed, because if we want to connect Europe, we want to connect all the 27 states, we first need to feel connected. We need to feel as one. And Eureka, as the projectathon, as the local events, is an excellent opportunity to make that feeling grow. So it was a wonderful experience, definitely. I think Europe needs much more projects like Eureka.
Yeah, fantastic, Carlos. That's great. That's great to hear. It was a great initiative, indeed. And there was a lot of people from the team coming together. So we mentioned our colleague Wendy, who designed a lovely background we use in these studio recordings, etc. And it's about how you approach the visuals. It's about how you craft messages. And I think it's also very true, although there was a competitive element, which is always good to drive you forward. The community aspect, really shined through to me. And I think with the Once Only technical system in general, it's been great to see the community building that's taken place through the large-scale testing events that we've organized, that we've brought people together for, the local events that we organize, where the Commission is jointly organizing events all over Europe with different member states to help onboard competent authorities. And with each of these, you build up a community. And I think community building is really behind the success of how we are. Because we like to keep these conversations relatively short and to the point, and thinking about how we're communicating the status of the Once Only technical system. would you conclude with a brief idea basically of where Spain is in its implementation and where we are in terms of the journey toward once-only enabled services in Spain?
I'm glad we can have this conversation right now because we are in a special moment. It's been a long and bumpy road for us, and not only for us, I know for other member states as well, and even for you guys. It's been a long way, and Jose knows very well because he's been in this from the beginning. But we are at the verge of a very special point in the way, because if everything goes correctly, which seems more than probable, we will go live in just a couple of weeks, which for us is a big success because it's been hard. We have the advantage, as Jose explained, that we have the platform, the data platform, which he's humble, but he is the father of it. He created it, and it works really well. So that gives us an advantage. It is something we say many times, but in this case, it's so true. From one problem, we made one opportunity. Our decentralization became our main advantage because we had already run a good part of the way before going to the European Union with our project. We have already made something together with so many different local authorities and with all the comunidades autónomas, the regions which work as member states. So many difference in law, in organization and everything. But we have something that we can really offer to them as providers, and as Jose said, now we must go to the local level to make them also providers to the platform. And once we have that, we can offer to other member states as well what we have. Now what we need is to engage them into using the system, into become requesters, because I believe there's still the idea that the percentage of usage for the European Union is little compared to their main business. But it's not that clear, because when we see the numbers, as I said in the Eureka project, there are already 11 million movers in working age in Europe. Even considering all the bureaucracy and all the problems they face, if we help them, especially the SMEs, but also citizens, if we help them with the bureaucracy, and we can make shorter periods for engaging and for sharing documentation that is needed in different member states, I believe this number is going to be much bigger, and it's going to be a relatively important percentage of their business. And that when that moment of realization arrives for them, I believe they will be engaged by themselves.
Fantastic. Or we very much hope this will be the case. Jose, a few weeks until go live, so it must be very exciting times over there. So we're certainly wishing you all the best. It's an exciting moment. Congratulations again on Spain's participation in the Eureka initiative. I think that's all we have time for. So thank you very much also for those watching, and we hope you'll join us for the next Once Only Studio recording. Thank you.